Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sunday Skinder. On this episode, I have a very dear friend, actually a very recently made friend. I have Mohannad from Egypt. So I met Mohannad, virtually through some of the sessions for coaching and, learning, I think making something good of ourselves every day. So Mohannad, welcome to Sunday Skinder. And can I invite you to please introduce yourself? Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta, for that lovely introduction. I'm really glad to be with you here on the show. My name is Mohannad from Egypt. I'm a mindfulness coach, a certified trainer, and I have my own podcast. We talk about wellness and all the mental health issues we discuss. Of course, this was never my intention, but I think the Corona gave us a new vision and a new road. So I think I took that road and said I work on myself and see how I can help other people to manage the day-to-day challenges of going to work and dealing with all the stress and so on. So that's basically me in a nutshell.
Wonderful. Welcome, Mohannad. And as I keep telling you this, that something that keeps me stay in touch with you is your positivity and such open-mindedness for everything, Mohannad. And thank you for being here. And it's a pleasure. And I promise you, this is not the only time we are going to connect. I'm going to keep coming back to you. And let's do a lot of episodes like this where we could just, contribute whatever we have and we could just pass it on. And I believe in social media so much, Mohannad. I truly love social media. I see it's right now, I'm in India, you're in Egypt, and we can still connect. This has made the world a smaller place, but thank you for, and you should just keep contributing through your podcast, through your videos, just keep helping people around. And we never know what episode or whatever we speak can help somebody in any way. We don't know about it. Let's keep contributing, right?
Of course, yes, of course. And one of the main reasons I entered this space of mental health and wellness is for me Indian culture, respect to your Indian culture, to your history. It is very close to our history. We're very close people. We have the same traditions and same cultures.
So much.
I instantly connect with Indian people, and I think they're the most wonderful people on earth because they provide a lot of mindfulness tips for.
We have a lot of cultural base into mindfulness. True that.
Yes. So it's I'm really honored. I hope I can come to India and visit.
What are you waiting for, Mohannad? Next time it could be you and me sitting together and we doing this, show like a live show. Yes.
Sure. It would be my pleasure. It would be my pleasure.
Thank you. You are truly welcome to India, and I'm just waiting for you to tell me that, hey, Shweta, I'm coming to India. You never know when. So
yeah. I hope so. I hope soon. I would love to come to India and stay in a retreat for a few days, maybe a month or so, and learn something new from the people there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mohannad, as you know, right now we are doing this episode of Sunday Skinder. So the whole agenda of this, Sunday Skinder episodes is that we talk about something that we don't talk very comfortably with each other. And that's the reason the Skinder actual means is about gossiping. And normally when people gossip, we gossip about something which is not very comfortable to talk about, right? And I thought we could take this opportunity that two coaches, it could be a mindfulness coach, it could be a happiness coach, it could be, a mindset coach. We can come together and we talk about any specific topic which is very close to our heart. And I really appreciate, because, yesterday we've been chatting and I was asking you that what is the topic that, which is close to your heart and you would love to discuss. So you mentioned about adversaries. And
yes.
so the platform is yours right now. Let's shoot out the topic and let's start discussions right now. So why
Okay.
this topic specifically, Mohannad?
Well, this topic I'm interested in because very rarely do leaders around the world talk about adversaries.
True.
You find that a lot of companies are always against each other. They want to outwit each other. We talk about the big companies like Apple, IBM, Microsoft. We talk about Google, and the issue is not to outwit your adversary. The issue is to learn from him and know what's your weakness and what's his strength, and build on it. That's how you learn. That's how you become a better version of yourself, not a better version of your adversary. So
well said. Not a better version of the adversary. I love that.
Yes, of course,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of examples are all around the world. I'm a sports fan, so I love sports, and sports is where adversary is as tough as everything.
It is a tough competition. I agree with that.
Yeah, I love basketball, but I'm a Jordan fan, so today I don't really watch the NBA. I used to watch the NBA in the 90s when Jordan was there, and there was always adversary, Jordan and other players, and other players tried to copy him because he was the best, and they wanted to be better than the best. You have very recently, if you like tennis, we have the top three, which are Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer.
Yeah.
And even though they're adversaries, they're very good friends, all three of them.
Yeah.
And when once one, I don't say one beats the other, because you're playing better. Maybe the other person would learn what kind of what mistakes did I do? Where did I go wrong? It's not he's better, so I want to beat him. No, what did I learn from that
match? Or
match?
Yeah. It could also be like that day Nadal must be better than Federer, or that day Djokovic might be like, hey, you know what, I can beat Nadal. And I'm sure they don't aim for it, but they do it naturally because that day their mindset is much better, or they are much more mindful as well. Will you agree?
Yes, of course. And adversaries were talked about in one of my favorite books, which is called The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. It's one of the 5 pillars of infinite games.
I follow him for leadership as well. Yes,
yeah. And so one of it is he was talking about I don't remember. I think maybe it was Adam Grant that was his adversary. I can't remember so what happened is that he was always he was talking and talking about the story that he was always not happy that this writer, he was better than him, had #1 books, bestsellers. People came more to his events than, and this kept on going until I think event that both of them were together. On the same stage, if you can recall, and they started to discuss why he used the word hates the other person.
Jealous, so many words together.
And Simon says that he discovered that he doesn't hate him, but he discovered that maybe if I work on my flaws, my weaknesses, I can be better than him, maybe in the next round. So it doesn't really matter who wins or who loses. It matters that this person drives you to be better, and this is the whole point of an adversary. It's not a fight. It's competition. It is you want to be better person or a better company with a better culture. So this is what I do. But unfortunately, human beings they like to
True. I was about
say
to
I'm
say that
better.
this works so well when people
Yeah.
reach that success stage of life. But if we get this adversary word in an everyday life, I guess 90% of the people around, like common man, are not able to
Yeah.
handle that.
No. I mean, during my time at the corporate world, I always saw this scenario that two people are on the same team. They're not even opposed. I mean, not one in the marketing and one in sales. They're on the same team, but one person maybe the manager likes, and the other person the manager doesn't like. And you know, Shweta, it always comes down to chemistry.
True.
If you like the
It's the
person,
connection. Absolutely.
yeah,
I agree with that.
the connection. So what happens is you always find this like adversary. I want to be better, so I'm gonna try and sabotage the other person's work to show my manager that I did the work. And at the end of the day, he sabotages that person's work. It affects him, his manager, the other person, the adversary, and the organization. Yes. And he doesn't realize that this kind of childish acts.
Absolutely. Such well said. Childish. I love this word.
Yes,
Isn't that true?
childish. Yes, it is childish act. It is not to his advantage or to his team or to his organization. So this is how it is. I have my son, my eldest. He's a taekwondo champion.
Wow.
He's almost going to be black belt, but has
awesome.
I mean,
you should be playing safe at home.
I do.
Don't tell me all the moves are done experimented on you.
No. He experiments every day. I used to be able to fight with him and punch him. Now I don't want to do it. I don't want.
I know he's getting into a black belt. That's not a safe to experiment anymore.
No, at all. But we've been with this coach and this academy for the last 10 years. This coach in Egypt, has a totally different mindset than any coach in Egypt. Okay. He teaches these young athletes, to be professionals, to be competitive, to be strong. He doesn't tell them you have to win. If you win, you're going to be the best. If you don't win, I'm going to kick you. No. Even if he loses, with me and him as a coach, we tell my son, for example, what did you learn? What was this lesson? Wow. So I'll give you a small story.
Yes.
So my son was competing in an open. It's a G2 level, which is which you qualify to the Olympics here in Egypt. It's an Egyptian Open. It's an international competition organized by the World Federation of Taekwondo. Okay. And it's his first year to work with the juniors. He was smaller, the cadets, and suddenly, because he grew up, he became working. He would fight in the division of juniors. Juniors are teenagers, 15, 16, 17. So you can imagine the boys at that age, how tall they are, how
growing up, stronger.
How annoying they could be. Yes. So he went, and he was in a certain weight division. He had to go into that division a little bit higher, and he was fighting a black belt who was taller, who was a champion, and he lost. He was not upset. He was upset from himself,
of course.
But what did he learn? He learned that he will fight people that are not his height, people that want to play in that weight division because it's easier for them. So they're going to do something like diet extremely so that they can get to that weight. And I told him, you have to expect the unexpected. This is normal. And like I said in the beginning of the talk, sports teaches people how important adversaries are. Teaches people.
And actually, even sports, Mohannad, puts, brings your ego down to the earth.
Yes.
It
Yes.
helps you that, hey, you know what, you have lost. I'm sure in the beginning, it's very hard for people in the sport to take the loss.
Yes.
Sports is either you win or you lose.
Yes. Yes, of
Even
course.
we talk about corporate lifestyle, we talk about, companies also. There is some win for some company. There is some win for both the companies, right?
Yes,
but
of course, of
sports
course.
is you either lose, it's yes or no. That's it. It's like two extremes. There is no in between. And a person who wins, he is the winner and everybody talks about him. And
exactly,
I guess that's it's not an easy mindset to build. And as you mentioned about your son's coach, I'm sure he is doing an absolutely great job. To build that mindset is amazing. Yeah.
Yes. And that's the reason why Simon Sinek in his Infinite Game always talks about the difference between both games. The finite game, which is a game that has rules and there's a winner and and the infinite game, which people don't really understand until today, where there is no winner. I am not beating. I mean, I really get really frustrated with companies here in Egypt. I don't know if it's in India, the same thing.
It's same everywhere.
Especially the telecom.
Not going to be any different.
Especially the telecom companies, because that was my industry very recently. You will always find one telecom company saying that they're the best 5G network in Egypt, and the other one would say they're the best coverage in Egypt. And the matrix of best and number one is subjective. I mean, I could be number one. You could be number one. That company could be number one, but who says that it's number one?
And I guess
with what measures?
Aren't there set of people? Let's say these millions people, or like let's say these 10 people, like this company, they're going to buy that product. And there will be other 10 people who will say, no, you know what, I don't want to get into that. So I believe that everybody will find their set of clientele.
Yes, of
because
course.
You cannot have everything to you. This is what I understand.
Course.
You can't, because this world is like a huge place. And also we talked about the chemistry. The thing that you're going to get connected with, you will get attracted to that particular person or that particular company, right? Or that particular product as well.
Of course. True. I mean, one of the biggest examples of adversaries, again, I'll go back to the sports. You have Venus Williams and you have her sister, Serena Williams, and they're two sisters.
Yes, and I know how, I'm sure, I don't know what kind of mindset they have that in that world.
And definitely they both want to win, and definitely they want to, because it is a championship. And I don't think that when they lose, they have any bad feelings. They lost because maybe they didn't do the work enough. Maybe they didn't train enough. Maybe they didn't sleep enough. I don't know. There was an interesting, I don't know if you saw this. There was a video very recently with a basketball player. I think he's African originally. He's, I think, maybe from the western part of the French area, and he plays in a team called the Bucks in the NBA, and I think they lost. So the reporter in the press conference asked him the failure. Do you consider the season a failure? And I want you to watch the video. His answer is amazing. He told him,
what did he say?
That do you get promoted every year? If you don't get promoted, do you consider yourself a failure? People fail. It's normal.
Yes.
But we learn, we come back, and we win. Failure is not the end of the world.
No, I think it's so necessary to fail at times, because if you keep on getting success, you will never know that what to do more. You'll never know how to do things differently. Maybe that I played this sport with this technique. Maybe it's time to change now, and it's maybe to adapt to this new change or develop a new technique. Otherwise, there will be no progression. Is that right?
Yes. There will never be any progression. So there is no such thing as so you failed this season, so that's bad.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he told him, do you get promoted every year?
Yeah.
If you get promoted every year, then that's different. That doesn't happen, but you don't get promoted. And promotion means winning. So I mean, like, you're winning. So if you're not promoted, does that mean you failed during the year? You didn't fail. Maybe you didn't do your best.
Yes. So it's time to just go within and find out what is the best you can do.
The problem is human beings always blame other
It's all
things.
External blame game.
Yes,
Absolutely. I'm so much with you. Yes.
They play the victim all the time.
Yeah.
It's I mean, if you lose to an adversary, then you lost because you weren't prepared, and because the other person,
or maybe
was
the
better.
Circumstances were not good. Maybe that was not my favorable condition. Or this
Maybe,
person said something to me, so I couldn't do it. So
of course.
The list of the blame game is longer and longer.
And it could be, I mean, very something very simple. Maybe you are emotionally, you are not ready, or you have emotional issues at home on a personal level. I don't know, whatever. So that affects the way you think.
So many
on
things.
On a personal level, on a business level.
True.
I mean, when you talk about companies like Apple, and you talk about companies like IBM, because these are, when Apple started back in the 70s or late 60s, Steve Jobs' idea is to play a game that is forever. Keep on improving.
So that's a different mindset.
Yes. I remember that the idea of the mouse, when he went to Xerox and saw the concept of the mouse, and he liked the idea. I mean, Xerox didn't develop it, but he liked the idea, and he took it and he developed it. Same thing, like things like Netflix and blockbusters. People don't see the end. I mean, they think that Blockbuster Video, which is a very famous chain in the States, it was a famous story. They used to say that they win, or they make profit from late returns. They take a video for the weekend, and you keep it for a few days, and you come back. Of course, you're going to pay late fees. So this is how they. And the guy from Netflix came with the idea of Netflix. Come and we do a streaming thing where you can watch.
It has been a game changer, you know.
Of course.
Mohannad, I know that Netflix, when I used to, when I was in US in 2008, I used to order the DVDs. I used to get the 3 DVD package. I know Netflix from that time. I never thought that, just because of this COVID, everything, the OTT platforms are going to boost up so much. It has been crazy, the game changer for all of them. But I'm sure they were not that successful maybe 5 years back. They started becoming a bigger success maybe 2 years, 3 years back. That's it.
Yes, of course, because any successful company, any successful person has to fall and has to come up and has to fall, and I mean, that's life. I mean, this is a lot of people come and tell me you're always positive and everything, but positivity. Yes, I have other adversaries. People, I wish I'm better than them, and I always tell myself, why are they better than me? What do they have I don't have? I have a brain. I read. I'm very well cultured. I travel the world, and I have international friends. So what's the difference between that person and me? There's no difference. It is a mindset. Maybe that person wants to go
I
after.
think it's about just thinking about it, that what different also. Mohannad, even I come from this world, and you're talking about adversaries. I train Zumba instructors every month, and I create a new bunch every month. The moment they are out, they think that, oh my God, I'm entering this world or entering this city, which itself has a lot of Zumba instructors. But I always tell them that you will find your 50 people if you keep working hard towards whatever you truly want to. Now, everybody, let's say there are 50 Zumba instructors. I teach them the same program. Out of them, maybe only 10 succeed in starting their classes and getting more people, like running a good business. What is different that these 10 people did is they are just following their heart and doing what they want. And then maybe if you do the same thing, the other 10 will succeed. But if you keep thinking that, hey, you know what? I want to get everybody from this area or this territory to my classes. That's never going to happen, Mohannad. You know why? Because people will approach people with whoever they feel like getting connected with. And I believe this energy is making a lot of difference. But you're right. And I think adversaries is something that we don't openly talk about. But I still believe that we all are unique in our own way.
Of course. And this is why, my philosophy in life is to help everyone. When you asked me yesterday, you didn't expect me to say yes quickly.
Yes,
I
and
would
I was
say,
like, and you just said yes, and like, let's do this, Shweta. I didn't even expect this, gossip happening so soon. So I
no,
really
of course,
appreciate that.
yeah, because I believe if I help you, Shweta, on this show,
Yes.
maybe financially it's not going to get you any money. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Even I don't know.
marketing wise, being there, people watching that, maybe people get interested. This is what I always say. So if I'm helping you, maybe one day you call me and tell me, why did you come and work with us in India, for example? I don't know,
You
maybe
never know.
yeah.
Yes, I believe that any connection, this surprises me, Mohannad. You and me, we work in the same field. There are so many coaches, but I feel so connected with them. In a way, we are adversaries to each other, but still we have such a lot of different agendas that we can, work on a common platform.
Of
Yeah.
course,
So
of course, of course,
a
of
lot of
course.
good energy, and I guess success, we all will get success, or we
Of
are
course.
already getting success, right?
Of course,
We will get success in this platform.
I always believe that, and this is one thing I always
Yeah.
believe, that wherever I leave, the
Mm.
managers that were on top of me, I
Yeah.
always leave a good impression, a good
Yes.
relationship. I have relationship with my managers until today, the ex-managers, some people
That is
I didn't like.
fantastic.
I never liked. They didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
However, I always believe that
Yeah.
having good relationship makes it
Yeah.
better. Makes it, yes, maybe.
But Mona, that is truly your skill.
Yeah.
You stay connected. Every time I come back to you, it's been like almost 1 month that we didn't chat anything on WhatsApp, and I just come back to you. I don't feel anything just to say hi to you. I don't even think that what would you say because I'm not in touch with you for last 1 month, because I know you will understand if I was busy. So I think that's your gifted skill, connecting with people and staying connected.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I
It's
think,
such
isn't
an
that
honor.
the most important thing, being as a human, that you stay
Yes.
connected with somebody and it just gets a good quality and a positivity that this person thinks that I am a good person. And
Of course.
that's the end of the story. This is what we all want, to feel
Yes.
important, to feel appreciated, to feel
Of
just
course.
positive about each other. That's it.
Yeah, of course. That's the main idea for connection. I mean, I guess also Happitude has a lot to do with our connection, because the energy within the group, the tribe, the group, the people, the positive energy. Everyone
And I think that's the reason I'm here. I have connected with so many coaches around the world. And Mohannad, I don't need any other agenda to speak to them. I would just say, hi, let's catch up. It could be just a phone call, or maybe, that's it.
Yes,
But,
of course.
yeah.
Of
Mohannad, but
course.
what is your strategy? Because I'm sure not everybody has this mindset. Or I would also say that, let it be you, let it be me, we have worked on this mindset of actually, dealing with the adversaries in life. Because it's not always me deciding that, hey, you know what, I don't want to get into this competition. I put myself away. I'm going to decide that what is good for me. But the same energy doesn't come from my adversary. Okay, he or she will not put the same energy, but still we have come into this mindset that we have, I would say, channelized our energy and, build this mechanism in such a way that we know how to deal with it without it affecting us in any, I would say, in a bad way.
Yes, of course.
What would you say, how do you deal with this, and what is a message or a suggestion that you want to give everybody to deal with that?
I would suggest, number one, no matter how, if he's an adversary or she's an adversary at work or outside of work, number one is make a good connection, good relationship with that person. Ask him for cup of coffee or her for a cup of coffee and talk about and tell them how I feel about that person.
Yeah.
Do I really feel hate towards that person, or do I feel, I don't know, a little than that person? And be honest in the relationship. The problem is we're not honest.
Yeah.
If I find you an adversary, I would instantly call you, Shweta, and tell you, and would do a Zoom call. I'll tell you, you make me feel like that, and maybe you would say the same thing, and we'll try and work on. Okay, so what can we do? How can we learn from each other, and at the same time be competitive? I mean, being competitive is not a bad thing.
This competition could also lead to being an accountability partner to each other, that we give a target to each other and we finish list of agendas and we push each other that, hey, you know what, who's going to finish this target before? You never know where would, you know, just, it goes.
Of course. So this is the one advice I would put. Have a positive relationship with your adversaries, because you can learn from that person things about yourself that you don't know. I always train and give the people a very famous model, which is called the Joe Harry model, if you know about it.
No, if you could just put some light on it. Yeah.
Sure. The model was designed by two psychologists from the States. One is called Joseph Ingram and Harry. I can't remember. One is called Joseph, one is called Harry. So they put a Joe Harry model, and there are 4 quadrants. There is the open area, there is the blinds area, there is the hidden area, and there is the unknown. The open area is information I know about myself and you know about me. For example, you know I'm a coach, and I know I'm a coach. So this is not a secret between us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the known area. Okay.
Yeah, that's the known area.
Yeah.
The hidden area would be things I might know about myself, but I haven't shared it with you. You know. So, for example, do you know that I fell from rock climbing? You didn't know that information until I told you. So until this last second, you had no idea I did that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
The blind part.
Yes.
Yeah, till now. The blind part is you didn't know things about me because you see me more. I don't know. I don't know things about you, and we always tell that area, that specific area, is where critical feedback is important, and this is where the adversary is. I mean, I might see that you are impatient or that you are ill-tempered, so I would come and tell you, Shweta, you know, you're impatient, and I would give you positive feedback with some criticism, positive criticism, not that you're a bad person.
Do better in whatever,
you can do better, you can practice, it give you a good feel. So that's the blind area. The unknown is unknown. We have no idea of anything. It's something unknown. So this is how we deal with people emotionally on self-awareness, if we talk about it. So if I don't know anything about you and I know that you're just my adversary, I always assume, which is always the worst thing to assume, that you have bad intentions towards me. And this assumption will always be there. Unless I come and sit with you and we talk and have everything and have everything out there. That's how I would always deal with any relationship.
You just segregated, you just, it is like a puzzle, and then you just opened up all the pieces of the puzzle and you're just putting it one by one. It's becoming so clear that how did you actually get into this mindset?
Yes,
it's a big deal. And Mohannad, it was been so helpful, to discuss about this topic, because even till now I have never discussed this topic with anybody. And I come from a field where I create bunch of instructors, I train people, and yes, in a way, they become adversaries of each other. But also, Mohannad, what I have realized is when two people become adversary of each other, there is a lot of common things between two people. Otherwise, you will not become an adversary. To become an
of course.
adversary, you need to be maybe a jealous of thing. The moment it's like you seeing your own reflection in that person.
Yes, yes,
Also, I
yes,
think that's
exactly.
the amazing thing, that adversary is in a way your reflection, and that person is doing better than you, maybe, and you want to do this much better. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
absolutely, the lesson is, hey, if you think that person is doing better than you, and if you are jealous or you start feeling competitive with that person, I think the first thing is you need to go within and tell yourself
Yes.
that this is exactly what I want, which I am not working hard for.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly that adversary, that person is exactly a reflection of yourself,
Yes.
a better
Otherwise,
version.
because we cannot become adversaries with everybody, right?
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. I mean, I have a lot of adversaries, or I'm not going to say adversaries, a lot of people that I want to be like them or better than them.
Yes. Yeah.
And
They
it
could
might
either
seem
become
like,
your inspiration, that you aspire
yes,
to become like them,
yes,
or of course,
yes.
and I guess when it doesn't work out for a long time, then you make
Mm,
that person your adversary, I
yes,
guess.
yes, yes.
Sometimes it's it's a
But
notion about giving up, that, hey, you know what? I am giving up on myself, and now I start becoming competitive or jealous of this person, right?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's it. So
Wow.
it is a mindset. If I want to be like that person,
Yeah.
uh, for example, I'll give you. I always wanted to be like Simon Sinek. Where is
Wow.
Simon? Where me? I'm very small person in terms of knowledge, but what makes me like this guy is the way he talks. So this is, so I try and understand and look at how his body
Wow.
language works, so that I can become like him and like other
Something that,
successful
yeah,
coaches.
Mona, something that I really appreciate about him is talking about how he keeps on sharing an example about that he had been to a bar, and then, in that
Yeah.
bar, he talks to this
Yes.
guy, and that guy is so amazingly, helping people and all. And he says, the one thing that my manager comes and asks me is about how am I doing? He never comes and
Exactly.
asks me. I love this kind of open culture. And
Yes.
so recently, I've been working. So what I do is I do contract basis work with different companies when it comes to their employees. And I love that concept. But most of the time, the companies want to bind people with their rules and regulations.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if that person even completes his or her work. Same in India as well. Works, the only difference what I saw is the companies in Netherlands, they have a bit different culture. It's an open culture. You complete your work. If you need to work for 8 hours and complete your work, good job. If you complete that work in 4 hours, the next 4 hours is yours.
Yes,
So I
exactly.
think not every company works with that notion and that open-mindedness. And that kind of attracts me to Simon Sinek's way of thinking towards how
Yes,
we can build organizations and employment
exactly.
there.
Of
Yeah.
course, of course, of course. That's the main thing. That's the main
So,
thing. Yes.
wow.
Thank you, Shweta.
It has
Thank you
been
for the.
amazing, Monad. Yes,
It
but
has. It
I hope you
has.
enjoyed discussing and, talking out with me today.
Oh yes, yes. It was amazing. Thank you, Shweta, for your lovely, lovely time. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and we want to do it again. I have a
Yes,
lot of
we are going to
things.
come back, and this is not the last Sunday Skinner I'm doing with you, Monad. Let's come
Sure.
back again and come back with a different topic. And I am so happy that we discussed this today. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
your contribution here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a nice day. Bye
Thank you.
bye.